Welcome, everybody. It's Film Room time, and on today's episode, we're going to take a look at Oregon's quarterback, Justin Herbert. And instead of just doing what we've done in the past, where I've highlighted a game and I show you the traits that kind of give you an illustration of what the quarterback is, this other player is going to look like in the NFL, I'm focusing solely on this Oregon versus Auburn game and how Justin Herbert did in this game. This was the big test for Herbert. A lot of people had him as the potential number one quarterback in the draft, the number one overall pick in the draft, and Auburn was going to be his toughest test of the season. It was week one, so you got to kind of factor that in. But, you know, an SEC defense, a potential top 10 ranked team, Herbert was not going to see a defense like this in the Pac-12. I know Washington always has good defenses. Stanford always has good defenses. USC always has speed and all that. But he was not going to be able to see a defense like this. So it was interesting to see how he did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this. I'm going to look at several different plays throughout this game to show you the good and the bad of Justin Herbert, to just kind of see how he did overall in this game and how does that affect where he could go in the NFL draft and his NFL standing. Let's go ahead and get started. This first clip I wanted to show you is just a illustration of what Justin Herbert can do. Rolling to his right, he's able to hit this receiver on an out route down the sideline. Pretty standard throw. Shows, you know, not only can he his movement skills, but he can make accurate throws on the run. You know, the ball was a little low, forcing his receiver to kind of go down to get it. But he does show that he's able to make those accurate throws on the run. The next play I'm going to look at is early in the game. And what I like about this play is it shows his quick reaction skills. He's going to roll to his right. They're going to look for this receiver right here to run kind of this curl route underneath for the quick look. And as Justin Herbert rolls, he sees this guy's not open. He's got some pressure right there. He sees that this defender's right there. He decides just to tuck it and go, utilize his athletic ability, and he gets tackled. It looks like a touchdown, but he ends up getting tackled at the 1 yard line. Regardless, Oregon's able to punch it in and get the touchdown to get an early 7-0 lead. So once again, shows quick reaction skills. Hey, he's looking, he's seeing that, hey, this is probably not going to be open. Hey, got some pressure, got a running lane, just tuck it, utilize his size, his athletic ability, and nearly had a touchdown there. This next play, what I like about this, it shows his recognition skills. He's going to roll to his right, and he's going to hit his receiver for a first down right here. First reaction, you would think, okay, this ball should be coming out pretty soon. Hey, he's got a little lane, get the ball out for his receiver to make the catch and get the first down. He waits a little bit and doesn't make this throw until right there after the receiver's already making it. So you may say, well, that's not great anticipation skills. But it is 3rd and 3. Okay, so you do see him kind of get to the point where he's about at the first down marker before he can make his play. So that kind of guarantees that first down. So maybe I'm reaching a little bit there. Maybe he does kind of have to see him open instead of anticipating. But with it being 3rd and 3, let him clear out, let him get his head around, and let him get to the first down marker before he makes that pass so he can at least guarantee that first down. All right, what I also like about this in this play is it shows his ability to some accuracy and just his arm strength. Yes, you know, accuracy is king and arm strength isn't everything, but sometimes in the NFL, you're always going to see tight window throws, and you have to be able to have enough on it to get it in there. And so in this case, 7-0 early on in the game, play action. There's not the Auburn defense has got it kind of lined up along the goal line, and they're combating this, and he's going to have a receiver kind of coming from the backside, and he's able to see him and thread this ball in between a short area. You got 2 defenders sitting right there. He's able to get it in, pass this defender to the receiver. Now he drops it, and it was a little bit behind. I get that, not the best accuracy, but there's only so much he could fit it in there. it was in a position for the receiver to make the catch. He had to put it on a line. I get that. It wasn't the perfect throw, maybe he could have put it a little bit higher and let his receiver go get it. But, he did with what he had and kind of put it in there, and the receiver still had a chance to make that catch. All right, here's another throw in the second half. He's going to throw, we get kind of a slant type route right here. And as you see this play developing, okay, he's going to have this tight end kind of cut out, so this linebacker is going to be going, and then this wide receiver is going to be coming in a slot, and that's where he's going to hit. And as he hits him, kind of his weight, it's a little bit, he sits there and he kind of stares him down, okay, waits to make his throw. And once again, you could say, okay, is he having to see him get open to be able to make that throw? But if you watch it real carefully, okay, here's he's first looking at him. This defender's right there. Yes, his eyes are not on this guy. He's not on the quarterback, so he probably wouldn't know. But the receiver kind of stumbles at that contact. Okay, so if he throws that ball right away, maybe I'm reaching for this. I get that. If he throws that right away, that's an incomplete pass. But he waits a second for him to regain his footing. He's able to make that tight throw to the receiver to get the first down. And if we watch it in full motion without me stopping it, okay, the receiver kind of stumbles a little bit, is able to then to rifle it in for the catch. Another thing that I like about Herbert in this game was this play right here, and I'll talk as I let it go through. So he's going to fake that, kind of roll to his left, and then he just puts the ball up for his receiver to go get. And who's able to make that? That's a underclassman, young receiver, 6'5" receiver. And what I like about this play, okay, is he looks, that's not open. Okay, whether this was a pump fake or not, okay, this guy is coming in. It looked like it was a pump fake and go. Pressure's coming. Decides to bail. Is looking down this way. Doesn't necessarily see anything. Okay, knows that, hey, I've got a 6'5" receiver in single coverage on the right hand side. He turns, he looks, and he trusts his guy to go up. The ball is a little bit underthrown, but he knew that he had size to that side over the cornerback and trust his receiver. Now, was this the best decision? Probably not. He's just kind of throwing the ball up in the end zone. But when you have trust in your receivers, and we see this a lot with some quarterbacks, they're too worried about not letting their throwing jump balls and that. And sometimes you just got to trust your guys, and you have the advantage. You know your guy can win, and he goes up and he does win. And he's able to go up and get a touchdown. This extends the lead to 14-3, and was a pretty easy catch there for that sophomore receiver. All right, in probably Herbert's best game as a pro, or as a quarterback, was that Stanford game from last year. And in that game, he put on a clinic, in my opinion, just throwing receivers open, elite ball placement. He was putting the ball in certain areas where his receiver would be able to go down and make the catch and shield themselves. He'd throw it away from the defender, show anticipation and touch and all that stuff. And if you go back and watch that, you'll really see a lot of those. And I did a scouting notes article from that game. It's up on the website. In this game, you didn't necessarily see a lot of that good ball placement. And this is one of those examples. You do like in this situation, Herbert's going to get this. There's pressure coming from the edges. Okay? Both tackles are having to push the defenders past the pocket. So Herbert shows that he's able to climb up in the pocket to make his throw. That's good pocket movement. Okay? And he rifles the ball, but for a completion and a first down. This is 3rd and 8, so this is a big-time throw. It's 14-6, third quarter. We're going to go on to get the touchdown here. Not in this play, but he's able to put it on a line and get it to his receiver and put it in a position. The ball is a little bit behind the receiver, forcing him to have to turn and fall to the ground. You would have loved to see this ball kind of put out a little bit more in this area so that receiver can make that catch and turn up and maybe get a touchdown. Just a little bit nitpicky. I mean, it's hard when you show that you can climb up in the pocket and put the ball on a line for a first down to your receiver. But if I am being a little nitpicky, you would like to have seen that ball out in front so that receiver can catch and run. All right, the last clip that I'm going to show you is just another example of maybe him kind of rushing his throw. He's going to throw to the outside, over here out to the left-hand side, and he's going to stare down this receiver the entire time, just watching, and then he doesn't really step totally into it. He uses a lot of his upper body, and the ball just kind of dies there at the end. Not a huge play that affected the game whatsoever, but just once again kind of showed in this game he didn't have that elite ball placement, as I mentioned earlier in the as we saw in the Stanford game last year. And there's throws like this, like the play before, where they're not in the best position. He kind of just, the ball died on him as he was making that throw, and not necessarily what you wanted to see. All right, all in all, this wasn't the best game for Justin Herbert. His accuracy, his ball placement wasn't the best. He had that Hail Mary at the end of the game where his receivers didn't even have a chance for it. I didn't put that in there, but I probably should have, where he just had too much arm. And that might have been the adrenaline going. Regardless, he had to put that ball into play, and it just wasn't there. But this wasn't a total loss of a game. He did throw for 242 yards. He completed 76% of his passes. I mean, a lot of those were short. And that was one of the kind of the downfalls of this game, especially in that fourth quarter. And throughout this game, the Ducks really didn't get very aggressive with their play calling. He didn't throw a ton of balls down the field. It was a lot of quick hitters. And I don't know if they were worried, and some of that was their receivers early in the game couldn't get open. I didn't kind of put those highlights in, but there was times where he sat in the pocket and he kind of looked, and there was nothing open. So I don't know if they felt like, hey, our receivers can't get separation down the field. We don't want to throw interceptions. Regardless, the play calling wasn't overly aggressive, and so that led to a lot of short passes. But in all, Herbert's a pretty accurate quarterback. He's above a 70% thrower pretty consistently. He spread the ball out. He threw to 8 different receivers. He only had 1 touchdown. He nearly had a rushing touchdown, but it got downed at the 1. They didn't really utilize him as a runner much. I mean, he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be some guy that's running around the field rushing for 100 yards. He had negative 16 yards. That was based off of sacks. He did have a 7-yard run. So you maybe would have got him on the edge more where he could have taken off. But I don't think this game really hurts his NFL standing per se. I think a big game here with a win and him making some clutch throws could have solidified himself and put him in that number 1 spot. But he was always my number 2 quarterback behind Tua Tagovailoa. I have a first-round grade on Herbert. I have a little bit higher of a grade on Tua. I went back and when I broke down this tape, my grade didn't change on Herbert. I think he's got a lot of good qualities. I'm just not ready to put him in that elite category. He's a top-end NFL draft prospect for a quarterback. He's not an elite prospect, and that's kind of where I saw him even before this game. I still think he's got a shot to go in the top 10. To me, he's Josh Allen, but an accurate Josh Allen. He's got the big arm strength. He's got a good size. He can run, but I think he sees the field better. He's more accurate. And Josh Allen went in the top 10 to the Buffalo Bills. There's no reason that Justin Herbert shouldn't go that high. Also, I think Tua, if he declares, is probably the number 1 quarterback taken. I think Herbert is the second one, and I think that's pretty much a slam dunk unless someone completely comes out of nowhere and wows everybody. Maybe that's Jordan Love, whose stock is continuing to rise. But I think Herbert is going to be the second quarterback taken. I think he's going to have a chance to have a good career in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be an elite guy, but I think he's got the ability to be a good NFL starter. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Remember to subscribe here on YouTube to get all these updated videos. I do film rooms. I break down latest news stories, college and NFL, and the NFL draft. Follow me on Twitter at draft_Brian. Instagram the same also. Make sure you're hitting up NFLDraftGeek.com where you find all of my draft articles and news. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.